wondering if you might want to share a little bit more about, honestly anything, but if there's like a process or a theme that you were thinking about.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kojo, for this warm introduction first. And to give the answer to your question, yes, like we are having these conversations, I think we had our initial conversation a year back when we were thinking about this show. And by that time, I was looking at something where I can just show my signature style as well as an introduction of something else as a new theme. So what happened by that time that I was also investigating the numerical number 3, which has a kind of a significance in my personal life as well. Like I was born on the 3rd of March, I have 3 kids and so forth and things like that. So I thought like this is kind of a great idea to begin with and have a theme around, and the technique is engraving or scraping. So usually I work on a plastic vinyl. The surface is vinyl and I scrape it, engrave it, and try to make images out of it, which kind of gives an illusion of the 3-dimensionality of the 2-dimensional surface. But this is something which is there, but the narrative is not to that. So that's how it works, and you can see the works having these signature styles and something else which is kind of introduced and probably goes far.
So one of the things that stood out for me is, there are some very recognizable images. We see Mickey, we see teddy bears, there's Mushu, it's roots of characters maybe from Monsters, Inc., and yet they're obscured, they're covered in a gauze, which again has also many layers. But I was really struck by sort of the ubiquity of these symbols, these things that I grew up with in the United States, you grew up with in Pakistan, and how we share these icons globally, and we have these memories that we take with us, and these experiences that we view on them. So everyone looking at these works are going to bring their own experiences, their own histories, which I think kind of it's connecting us and also showing sort of the immensity and multiplicity of our experiences, which I think if you've also had a chance to look at the other works as well, these sort of more ethereal, much smaller works, I think maybe at first glance they might not seem related, but to me, sort of this immensity of experiences and how we look at the same moon from 17,000 miles apart, and have our own histories and experiences and cultural connotations with these celestial icons, that to me was really, really powerful about her work. And I was wondering if that was something that, if you were thinking about that, if that was something that stuck out to you, or if not, totally different take on it.
No, that you're absolutely right, and I think in your question you have already given the answer. The image itself is kind of global. It's a global image, so anyone can have some sort of an experience, and anyone can relate to this. So that is, I think, something very challenging as yet, as well as very simple to make. So both the sides are there, and I think the connotation in terms of geopolitical situation, in terms of social commentary, is lying there in each and every work. Like the bandage itself has a meaning. A very playful thing has been bandaged, so it looks like mummified. So there is the concept of the beauty in the ugliness lies there. So it's like all these things are kind of connecting the dots and making a meaning out of it.
So as curators, what really sort of connected the dots for us in making this grouping and showing these works together, yes, they're disparate in that there's toys, there's skies, there's stars, and if you look out right in the window as you walk in, there's a beautiful grouping of a landscape. But what we felt brought all of these together is they're all sort of avenues for imagination and thinking abstractly. If you think about sort of a child playing with a toy and the make-believe that goes into that, and if you think about us as grown-ups or even children looking up into the sky or looking at clouds, looking at the heavens, in finding order within randomness and playfulness. So that was sort of our thought line that held all of this work together.
And the numerical number and all together, you know.
That feels easy.
We do want to keep this sort of more as a conversation. So if anyone has any questions right now, please feel free to just sort of shout them out. But also feel free to approach us later if that's a little easier. We're also doing a walkthrough on Saturday at 3. At 3? Yeah, at 3 p.m. We'll all be here with Adeel. So if you want to come and have a longer conversation about the show, we'll be here then as well.
And follow me on Instagram.
And the gallery, please.